This stream contains fast flashing images that may affect viewers who are susceptible to photosensitive epilepsy or other photosensitivities. Viewer discretion is advised.
Welcome back once more, folks, to the Riot Games Arena, where things are heating up here in our Stage 1 playoffs. That's right, welcome back to the VCT Americas. It's all happening. I'm your host, Ubi, here today with a very special panel of guests. We're going to go down the line. We've got Wyatt, we've got Mimi, don't need that kid anyway. Forget about it. And my boy Vanity, of course, otherwise known as Oxy's legal guardian from Cloud9. Great to have you with us, man. How you feeling?
Good, good. How are you?
Yeah, good. I mean, I'm loosening everyone up already, you know what I mean?
I don't need this either. Butterfingers. Do not let this man be a wide receiver.
It's not like I'm actually going to
fumble city.
Do I look like I'm built like one of those, bro?
I mean, I don't know. You might have some speed on you. I've never seen you run.
Only if there's food in the other direction, mate. That'd be the only reason why. All right, let's recap on what's happened on this stage yesterday, because we saw Alpha Group #1 seed Crew. They took on G2 Esports. And this is a game we came into, and I saw the predictions from everyone. A lot of people feeling like Crew would have what they needed to get over the line.
Yeah, I mean, this was kind of a surprise. G2, I think, came out with some incredible prep on Icebox. In particular, the way that they were dealing with these Crew site hits, really high-lowing, punishing Kesnet every time he was swinging into them. And on top of that, I mean, these guys were just winning every 1vx situation. It seemed like the amount of clutches on both those maps was ridiculous. But then we got into this second series, and it looked like 100 Thieves could run away with things after that first map.
And then Sunset happened, and then they went B 10 times in a row.
It was like literally 13 rounds of trying to hit there.
100 Thieves looked strong to start off Sunset as well. Booster got the ace on pistol round, and they were up, 4-0 or something? Lost 8 rounds in a row, and then they kind of did it back to them on attack, I guess, but...
It's unreal. I mean, yeah, look, seeing Leviathan see it fall at this stage, a lot of people are very, very shocked, but we're seeing towards the end of these playoffs, so midway through, a lot of these teams that were sat middle of the pack start to make their run for the front of that exact pack. Let's have a look at our standings, though, because playoff wins here are important. They earn you championship points. That's extremely relevant. The record of these teams, that was something we dealt with sort of during regulation stage play, but crucially, 100 Thieves now gets up to that 5 championship points alongside G2. C9's got a few. You guys have done all right.
We're all right.
Racked up a couple of those championship points, and Crew here at 6. But coming up today, we have our upper bracket final. That's right, G2 are going up against 100 Thieves, a rematch for a game we saw in week 2 of stage 1. The winner will move on to Sunday's best of 5 grand final and, crucially, score a 2-map ban advantage. That's right. I'm in this green, baby. What are you going to do about it? It's kind of crazy to sort of see us here now, especially with Crew.
In the bracket, it's crazy.
But we are in there. Leviathan and Crew with a rematch in that lower game.
The whole season was just dominated by LATAM. Most people thought that there was a high likelihood that there would be 2 LATAM teams going to Shanghai.
We thought Loud
turned up at the end of the season, but no, North America, we're back. Actually, we never left. Somehow, yet.
Somehow, 2
North
trophies
America,
in a row for NA teams.
We're yet to leave this esport, so enjoy it while we can, folks. Somehow we're still qualifying.
The final frontier for North Americans to have success. But yeah, I mean, everyone was expecting, I think, at least one of these 2 LATAM squads to go out and qualify, getting that upper seed. But now they're fighting for the death for that final slot. Only one can make it today.
Yeah, that's crucial, right? That last spot at Master Shanghai is on the line in that game. But let's move to our upper matchup, and let's start with 100 Thieves. Brain's been tweeting about it. He's been very outspoken. Teams keep letting 100 Thieves pick bind, and they keep winning it. Leviathan looked pretty good in maps 2 and 3, but they couldn't sort of close it out here. Is this a big deal? Because we're talking beforehand, Tony, and you're sort of saying, a lot of NA teams are very good on bind. These guys seem a cut above.
I definitely think 100 Thieves looks the best on Bind, but I think in general, when you watch the American teams play Bind, it's a map that I think even going back to like 2021, 2022, they've had a good understanding of the map in general. So it's kind of just like a litmus test, I guess. Like, we're good at the map, you're good at the map, let's see who's better.
Yeah, I mean, the form that 100 Thieves is hitting even outside of Bind has been incredible. I feel like every one of these players has leveled up to ridiculous form. The biggest guy I'm walking away from impressed with is EU, who's had a great tournament as one of the additions who I feel like was a little slept on coming into 100 Thieves. But they're playing this super unique style of Valorant where they're going for like double scan comps with the Fade Gecko almost every map. And that unique identity is built around that initiator player. And they're finding so much success with it. This team is peaking at the perfect time.
Yeah, absolutely agree. He's been, and even in terms of his individual play, he still had
his moments where he's going to hit like a crazy sequence of multi-kills with really strong rifling. But yeah, he just hasn't really needed to step up as much individually, just given how great everyone else has been.
I've seen the Preds for their matchup recently. No one really believed in 100 Thieves except you. You kind of had them from the jump as your team to look out for in the playoffs.
Yeah. Now, you may say that I've been coping this entire time.
And I actually would say that.
I told you guys last year they'd be good in a year and a half, but, you know, I figured... Listen, I'd rub it in a little bit.
Oh, we actually have
I'd
them here
gloat
as
just a
well.
little bit. Yeah, I went to the Office Depot and printed out a few.
First person to go there in 10 years.
I just printed out a few apology forms. I mean, Mimi, I'm just gonna give one to you.
What are these
Vanity, I mean, you might as well take one as well.
I was jealous of
Mitch,
Busio.
I threw my
there you
pen
go.
away. I can't fill this out.
Yeah.
I like the Mercury is in retrograde idea, though.
I just wanted to make it really abundantly
You guys not
clear.
filling this out? Go get your friend.
Wait, no,
Go
it's,
get- no, go
I've
get
lost
your
it. It's
pen.
broken. See, the top come off. That's a
Oh,
shame.
it actually is
Absolutely
broken.
I'm utterly unrepentant on
what's the
my...
date
I just wanted to make it clear that
What's
I
the
was
date today?
right
I feel like
and
I'm at
you
the
were wrong.
DMV.
What is the date?
What is the date today?
It is the
5-10.
10th of May. 10th of May, folks.
Okay,
Those-
I
those
was
are
jealous of Busio. Yes, I also don't know
jealous of
Valorant,
Busio?
famously.
Were you jealous that he was
I
good
hereby
right now?
respect 100 Thieves, and I will not talk down on
Any
future.
astrology
Yeah,
enjoyers out there? What's the state of the play? You've done that?
Your turn.
Wow, and
Okay.
you signed it?
I did. It's legally binding.
Mimi, do you dot your eyes with circles? Is that a thing? Or is
I
that just
did it
like,
for
you
the,
did
I
a
did it for
little
the
circle.
show.
I can feel it, feeling a bit fruity today.
I'm a showman, Wyatt.
Okay. All right, that was real quick.
Vanity,
All right,
what's your
Oh,
excuse?
It wasn't. Do I already have to do it?
Oh, you absolutely have to do it. What's your excuse?
Yeah, what's your
I was
excuse then,
cleaning.
Vanity?
Merger-
I was cleaning
Mercury
darkness.
in
Anyway,
retrograde.
while we fill these out, let's
Don't
head
know
over to
Valorant.
Van
That's
Silly and
tough.
hear a little bit from the players so often
That's tough.
slept on.
I don't think anyone knows
It's EU.
Valorant.
Yeah.
Do I really have to do this? God damn it.
A nice little strut going on. Can I actually have your time a bit of EU? Awesome. EU, you played against the core of G2 back under the M80 banner in the grand finals of Ascension, where unfortunately you guys lost. What was that win con, or what made G2 so hard to beat, and what are you going to do to make sure that it doesn't happen again today?
I do think on M80, when we were in that tournament, we were all kind of sick. We had some bad conditions going into that LAN, so it wasn't too fortunate for us, and we had 2 map bans going into it. But I do think G2 is a really good team, and it's going to be a good game today.
Awesome. Well, good luck, man. Squid.
What is that?
What is that?
Old man doing.
What is... Okay, fair enough. We're gonna move on. We're gonna talk about Busio here while I've filled this out, who's known as basically the most confident man in Valorant. Some of the stuff out this guy's mouth is pretty crazy, but he is willing to back it up when he gets out there on the stage. This guy also understands how to get the most calorie burn out of all of his games, making sure he's up and about. He is desperately trying to make sure his opponents can hear him. This guy needs a standing desk for real.
That was during the time between map 1 and 2. He was just stood up the whole time until his poor little legs got tired and he had to sit down. He was just talking trash for like 3 minutes straight.
I swear it was when you guys played them. I remember you. I reckon it was Busio across the stage, and you just have this smile on your face.
It's
Like,
so funny.
Did you like want to reciprocate, or were you not allowed to, or you just wanted to let him go? Like, what is it like playing up against this kind of huge personality?
I mean, you have to win rounds to reciprocate, but I mean, it's pretty funny, to be honest. I think it's really awesome for the esport. I think it gets people to watch it. Like, more people are going to watch 100 Thieves games because Busio is very loud, energetic. Like, he gives people something to root against or root for.
It is. I mean, the guy, it makes a huge impact. We actually kind of want to look a little bit closer at Busio today because it's an IGL matchup. It's him and Valen here as well. Busio often says that he deals with like the tactics, but the overall strategy is something that's more handled by his coach, and he speaks really highly of that partnership.
Yeah, I think 100 Thieves is a team that really flows a lot. They let their players go for a lot of risks. Busio is an IGL. He's like a super vibes-based, high-energy person. Whereas Valen is a lot more, I think, like controlling, does a lot more of like very much fixating on every piece of the macro for his team. His former players have described it as like playing as a pawn in his system because he's very intentional at how they're making these rounds happen. But it shows when they have a good read, when they have good prep into a team, they dominate. And that's exactly what happened against Crew. Their ideas coming into Icebox as to how to deal with Crew's comp that always wanted to be fighting forward for backside, things like that, was beautifully dealt with. And you really have to give a ton of that credit to, of course, their coach Josh, but also to Valen, the guy who's been there with this G2 squad since the beginning.
I mean, I think he does a great job at game planning. I think they kind of had a similar game plan for us and Crew. Like, we have a pretty similar style. Like, we want to fight you.
Yeah.
And they did a really good job at, like, taking away the fights, I guess. Like, playing scared, whatever, but they're very good at doing that. They excel in like retake scenarios and 5v5, so it's something they lean on pretty strongly.
Now, if you missed it, we've got to run this back for you because we asked Boostio about his thoughts about today's matchup, and this is what he had to say in our post-match interview yesterday.
You could maybe take the whole thing with this team?
Dude, we versus G2. I don't want to be too mean, but we versus G2 tomorrow. We will absolutely not lose that match. They are not good. So we will destroy G2 tomorrow 100%.
And you're okay if we use this footage again?
Please use
later
it.
on. Okay.
Please use it after I beat them as well. 100% we will destroy them.
He had to stop himself. He was going to say something even more egregious, I think.
That's the controlled answer.
Unreal.
I mean, like, before every game, he's on Twitter calling his opponents pigs. It's crazy. No one talks trash like him.
No, that is crazy.
I mean, every game.
And the thing is, when he says stuff like that, I believe him because he believes him. Like when he was yelling across the stage that they were like, hey, we're qualifying. I just believe him.
Yeah.
I mean, I just know they're going to win.
And he gets up.
It's too much. It's blind self-confidence.
He's so emotive. This guy's like a theatre kid unleashed. You know what I mean? He's like, oh, you guys.
You can't say that.
Right.
That's me.
It's not, man. Okay, lots of people are self-proclaimed theatre people, and they seem to love it.
It's you.
Yeah, a little more than I should be. That's for sure. But let's hear a little bit of what Valen thinks about Boostio and his big game that he's talking, and head over to Van Silly to extract this info.
Valen, please, can I have a quick word with you? All right, awesome, thank you. Boostio said that you guys were going to be an easy win today, but you guys have been playing phenomenally the last couple of days. So to you, how do you attribute the recent success of G2, and why should Boostio be afraid of you instead?
I mean, last time we played him, it was kind of an easy win for them, and at least he talked smack before the game, so I respect it, but today you're going down.
All right, well, good luck, man. Snail.
I can't tell if he's trying to put people in a state of suggestibility, because that's about how so-called hypnotists do it. They got to shake your hand and then they like knock you out and make you sleep. That's literally a thing. I'm telling you. Yeah, I'm freaking you guys out today. I'm coming from a different access entirely. All right, let's get back on track, because G2 took down Crew at Kickoff, and they did it again yesterday, and they looked even better. And I think the general consensus is that their macro was so good, and they were very, very good at neutralizing those star individuals. It feels like they played around Kesnet very effectively, and as a unit, they looked really much on the same page.
For sure. Crew were making a lot of little tiny errors in that game that were always being capitalized on by the G2 players. Leaf especially was just catching players out in a lot of different moments. Jonah P was getting away with a lot of flanks. So they were really exposing Crew's misplays. Simultaneously, yeah, Valen's calling in that game. The macro play on the attack sides was really fantastic.
And they've been good at like the micro stuff at the clutch rounds, at swinging together. That's always been solid. But this match against Crew was something different. I mean, on Icebox, it seemed like every man-down situation, they were coming up in the clutches, in finding the right timings. They were in the right situation every time. And players like Leaf, players like Trent, again, another team that's just seeming to peak at the perfect time.
I mean, I think that's the best thing to talk about. Like, they look the best they've looked all season in playoffs. I think in the regular season matches, they looked okay. They didn't look great, but Trent, Leaf, Valen have all looked in incredible form in playoffs as of recent.
I mean, we were talking about it a lot over the last couple of weeks, but Leaf on Killjoy especially, Icebox being one of his best maps, has stats that blow away even some other duelists when he is on that Killjoy. Yeah. So getting Leaf onto this roster was a huge deal. And again, that Killjoy play that we've seen from that once duelist has really been a big difference maker. It's every time he gets on Icebox, Wyatt, he goes massive.
They've been playing so much Icebox and Lotus where he gets to play the KJ, and it's resulted in him having, before this game, just shy of a 0.9 kills per round, which is crazy. I mean, that's excellent top-tier duelist numbers, and on that Xbox game was getting 1.33 kills per round, which is just obscene for the role.
I mean, Vanity, you've played with this guy for a long time in VALORANT, even in games before that for a while. What's he like as a teammate? What's he bringing to a roster?
Everything. I mean, he's a great player, great individual, great person. Nothing bad to say. He's really smart as well. I think that's something that people overlook a lot.
Yeah, his form right now is just insane. I mean, you hear it from Vanity, from other former teammates of Leafs, that he does so much to like add ideas to the team, to be an initial voice, on top of just being a star, be it on that Killjoy or the primary duelist last year.
I mean, I think Whiteside's a 0.9 kills per round average.
Crazy.
You see, he was well above that in that game against Crew at a 1.1. Now, White, you had a round that you wanted to have a look at on Icebox. This has been our big topic of discussion here for G2.
Yeah, so over here, we are going to be taking a look at a pistol round from G2 versus Crew on Icebox. Second half, G2 are starting on attack, and it's just a nice called round from Valen here. So pretty early on, if you want to get into this, Vanity, we can see some important pieces of utility here on the mini-map going on right there, if you want to just kind of break some of that down.
I mean, I'd say the biggest thing that G2 does really well this round is they dodge the knife from KO, so that kind of gives them the false info, and then sending in the cascade through mid to block the turret makes Heat think there's something going wrong because they're completely void of information on that part of the map. They started 3B long. They don't get hit by the knife, they just instantly go into A, and they have a free bomb site.
Yeah, so from there, they kind of speed things up just a little bit heading towards this site. And then as they're getting in, you're going to be able to see some of that hit utility coming through. There's that Dizzy coming over top. They have that wall as well. And then, yeah, just going in again at the full screen zoom back sight. They've got the recon, the harbor wall to cut off screens there as well. I mean, that's pretty standard stuff, right? Like, you'll run into that all the time.
It's pretty normal, yeah, for sure.
And then from there, just able to scale into the site. I mean, wingman for plant, obviously, because that's just so busted. I mean, how obnoxious is it to play against a Gecko at the moment with wingman?
Considering Viper mollies don't kill it, it's pretty obnoxious. I guess you have to be lucky. I think G2 does something really good here. A lot of teams with Gecko tend to go for the plant in the gen area, which is a lot more open to the Heaven players, but they do the more normal safe plant, and it just makes it easy to play.
For sure, and then, so that knife comes in, and you pointed this out to me earlier as well, Heat actually didn't use a flash to get out there, so Valen's able to get that first kill, but just going back a little bit as well here, if we zoom in on the map, there's some pretty cool little like micro play coming in here from G2 as well with that wingman.
I think something G2 did really well here is that a lot of teams will tend to use the orb on the rafter, which is kind of bad against the Gecko KO comp because the double flash is coming out of it. So Jonah does something unique here, puts on the left side, and they end up sending the wingman through it, and Jonah gets a kill based off of it.
Yeah, for sure. So, yeah, you can see that wingman comes through, pops out immediately. Yeah, that's just so nice. They clean it up pretty easily there at the end. It's nothing crazy, nothing complex, but it's just, like, the execution is just so well-timed, right?
I think they're doing it very well against the comp they're playing. They know that they have a lot of flashes on the other team, so giving them something to run through is not beneficial. So they just put the 3 people to fight it, and then Jonah goes on his own little side quest, gets his kill with wingman, and the round is over.
Yeah, I mean, they just make it look that easy. Earlier, though, speaking of Valen, we spoke with him about his road to becoming an IGL and a top tier 1 at that. So we're going to check that out right now.
My first time becoming an IGL in Valorant, I remember I was on like a free agent team. I didn't have much respect on my name, and no one really knew who I was. And my boys were like, yo, can you try calling? And I took it right. I'm like, yeah, sure, like why not? We needed an IGL, and it just was brick by brick. You know, I went from complexity back into the guard, and from there, that's where I feel like I fully showcased myself on the guard when we qualified for our first LAN. It was so hype, and I'm like, dude, I can do this. From here, I just have my mindset on I want to win games, I want to call to the best of my capability, and continue to brick by brick my way up to the top. I definitely enjoy my role as the IGL. It is difficult and it is stressful, there's no around that. You take on probably the most responsibility in the team alongside the coaches, just because you're the one calling the shots in the game. And not only that, you have to be that emotional leader for the team and make sure people are mentally straight in tough matches. When you're getting blown out, when you're blowing people out, you even gotta be like, yo, like stay locked in. You have to do so much if you wanna be a tier 1 IGL and make sure that your team is consistent. Because if people are messing up, which every team does, you gotta be the guy to point it out and try to fix it or get people back mentally. It's never an easy time as an IGL in the server, but it makes it ever so worth, like, fulfilling in my heart. I love doing it, and I like taking my boys into great wins.
Welcome back to America's favorite game show. It's Are You Smarter Than a Gold Player? We're back for our 4th installment for some more trivia and action here. Riot Games Arena, please give it up for our contestant today. It's Brandon. Brandon, welcome. Please introduce yourself. Where are you from? What's your rank?
Hey, I'm Brandon. I'm Ascendant 1, and I'm from LA.
From LA, right here and ready to win at home. Today there's something extra special though. We have a prize on standby with our beautiful model, Sideshow Gaming. Look at that jacket. You want to win that, Brandon?
Hell yeah, I'm going for it.
And that's what you're going for today. Look at that. Color upon color. And that's what he's playing for. But Brandon, you're not alone. You have a little help today with one gold player. We have Mitch standing by. Let's meet him.
Thank you very much, Mimi. I'm here with our gold player. Why don't you introduce yourself to us and tell us where you're from?
How's it going? My name is Noah from Los Angeles, California.
And Noah, what is your Valorant rank?
Gold 3.
Tick in the box for that one. Back to you, Mimi. Help is on the way.
Well, you got a fellow Angelino ready to help you out? All right, let's get into this. You have 4 questions today to try and win that jacket from 4 different categories in ascending difficulty. How you feeling?
Pretty confident. Actually, not really. But
Pretty confident? Not really. That's great. First one should be easy. It's iron weapons. And the question is, which of these weapons doesn't exist in the game? A, snowball launcher. B, water rifle. C, golden gun. Brandon?
I am pretty confident that it is B, water rifle.
B, water rifle. Let's check in with our gold player.
Thank you very much, Mimi. Okay, Noah, which of these weapons doesn't exist in the game?
Pretty sure it's going to be B, water rifle.
B, water rifle's the answer.
Well, you both echoed that answer. Should we lock it in?
Yep.
And is the answer B? You're correct! Congratulations, Brandon. That is a great start.
Thank you.
Feeling good after that one. Let's get into our second category. That jacket still on the line. It's bronze maps. And the question is, which teams, I presume that means maps, which maps are not currently in the map pool? There's multiple here. Can you list them all?
Is there a...
Maps, not in the map pool.
Not in the map pool? Ooh. Pearl. Fracture.
We can get you some help from the gold player if you need.
Haven. That's 3.
That's 3. Let's check in with Mitch. What do you got?
All right, Noah, which 3 maps are not currently in the map pool?
Pretty sure it's going to be Fracture, Haven, let's say Pearl.
Fracture, Haven, and Pearl is the call from the stage.
You both have the same answer. Is that your final choice? Fracture, Haven, and Pearl. Time's ticking.
Yes, I got...
He's locking it in. Is the answer Fracture, Haven, and Pearl? It is! 2 for 2, Brandon!
Oh my god.
Getting a little more stressful now, yeah?
Yeah. That's a bronze one?
That's a bronze one. We're moving up, though. There's still questions left to answer. And our second to last category is silver agents. The question is, name every agent that starts with the letter S, Brandon. There are 3 total agents that start with the letter S.
Sky. Sova.
What's that last one?
Sage.
Sky, Sova, Sage. I think you might have it. Let's double check with our gold player.
All right, Noah, 3 agents starting with S. What have you got?
Sky, Sova, Sage.
Where did you hear that from? Oh, that's the answer from down here. Sky, Sova, Sage.
No one could ever know where he got that answer from, but they're aligned. Let's lock that in and check the answer, which is, of course, correct. 3 for 3. Riot Games Arena, give it up. He is owning right now. How you feel?
Pretty confident. 1 more to go.
1 more to go. Our final question, the hardest of the day. Gold thousands. How many players in VCT Americas have 1,000 plus kills? Brandon, what do you think? I want to start this time with our gold player. Let's check in.
That is a bit cruel, isn't it? All right, okay, Noah, we're up first. How many players in VCT Americas have 1,000 plus kills?
I want to say just 1, but Can't confirm it just yet.
Okay. Do you want to lock that in? One player?
To be safe, let's do 3.
3 players is the answer from our gold player.
3 players, his guess. What do you think about that?
I was also thinking 3 because I know Aspas has over 1,000 kills. I know someone recently also got over 1,000 kills, and I just think someone like Tens probably also has over 1,000 kills. So thinking 3.
For bonus points, which 3 players do you think it was?
Aspas, Tens, and I'd say Les just off the top of my head, but probably not because, you know, Aspas and Les were from the same team, but...
That's 3. The final guess. Let's check the answer. Incorrect. It was 5. Ospas, King, Zekin, Leaf, and Kesnet. But you got some of those players in there, and you were 3 for 4. Brandon, congratulations. We're going to be presenting you with this brand new jacket, fresh off of Sideshow's body. How does that feel?
Makes it even more special.
It's a special moment for Brandon right here. Get that off, Josh. There you go. Congratulations. And thank you so much to our gold player as well. That's it for episode 4 of our You Smarter Than a Gold Player. We'll see you next time after the map vetoes. Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Alrighty, guys, welcome. As you know, 100 had higher seeds, so what team would you like?
Team B.
100 is going to get Team B, G2, you're going to be Team A. G2, you will have first map ban.
We'll ban Sunset.
G2 ban Sunset. 100, what map would you like to ban?
Ban Lotus.
100 ban Lotus. And G2, what map would you like to pick?
We'll pick Ascent.
G2 pick Ascent. And 100, would you like attack or defense?
Defense.
100 select defense. And what map would you like?
Bind.
100 pick Bind. And G2, would you like attack or defense?
We'll pick defense.
G2 pick defense. And you have 1 map ban.
Yeah. We'll ban Breeze.
G2 ban Breeze. And 100, you have 1 map ban.
Ban Icebox.
100 ban Icebox. Decider map is going to be split. G2, you will have the side select.
Defense.
G2 pick defense. All right, boys, best of luck today.
Good luck, bro. Good luck, bro.
All right, with our maps locked in, let's have a look at our broadcast team's predictions for the day. Hopefully no one else will be having to fill out one of these if they are wrong. Whoa!
Oh, boy.
Oh my God.
Unanimous?
I mean, that's a guarantee. Do we even need to play the game?
No, I mean, you may as well just ship it right now. Are we that sure about these results?
Absolutely.
I mean, yeah. Yeah. I mean, I would say so. Yeah, I feel confident.
I still can't believe that. That's quite astounding. I mean, again, like we did see Leviathan Crew fairly recently, right? Gave us a good idea that Ascent map wasn't particularly close at all. That for me was...
Crew broke my heart yesterday. They really did. I've lost, they hurt me. So I can't go with them.
Yeah.
Okay.
It felt like a big stumble yesterday from Crew. And whereas that Leviathan loss doesn't have me feeling super down on the team. I thought they played great against 100 Thieves, showed some great adaptation throughout that series. Ospas is still in incredible form. I have faith that those 2 teams, 100 Thieves and Lev, are the 2 best teams left in the tournament.
Do we need to talk about this map pool in this series between G2 and 100 Thieves here? Because we, once again, fearlessly have Bind coming up into the map pool straight away.
And I think it's a map that G2 is also comfortable on.
Yeah.
I think they had a weird comp, in the past, but from scrims, they've definitely changed it. They look a lot better with their new comp, so I think it's going to be a good map. But it's also just like, everyone's confident on Bind, so let's see if G2 is the team to take 100 Thieves down.
Yeah. I mean, they're kind of playing with lower expectations today. They've already made it in. They are in hot form, too. That last match was the best game I think we've seen this season from G2. The prep against Crew was incredible. The players were on point. They're hot right now. But 100 Thieves just look so good. They're definitely favored, but there's a chance for an upset still.
Icy has been doing a lot better in the past couple weeks as well. I mean, it actually kind of just started in the game against you, Vanity, where that was the first time he kind of had a breakout game on Ascent, unfortunately.
Was that a bit surprising to you guys?
But
Nah, you get used to it at this point. 2022 LCQ, Will did the same thing. He was like 160, 170 ACS average. We played him like 260. It's like, all right, I guess. But I mean, I think he's a good player. I think it was just kind of a matter of time getting used to the Tier 1 stage, and I think he's playing really well so far.
If G2 are going to win today, what do you think pushes them over the line as someone who's played them?
Icy.
Yeah?
I think Leaf's going to perform, Trent's going to perform, Valen and Jonah are solid. Icy needs to play well.
Icy's the differentiator here, right?
It's going to be tough. He's playing up against a Cryo in peak form. He's had so much criticism throughout this season. But again, he's peaking at the right time. This is the biggest match of his career thus far. This is his chance to really prove himself going into Shanghai.
The 100 Thieves team just feel so well-rounded right now, individually. They are all having their moments. Asuna has found a lot more consistency, but also I think the team is built around him more effectively, where he's not in those situations where he's getting caught way too far ahead. He's not going too slowly. It's kind of just this perfect pace that they're operating at. So hard to believe they'll lose, at least for me.
Let's get this show started, folks. It's G2 versus 100 Thieves, Crew versus Leviathan. The VCT Americas mid-season playoff starts right now.
High up into the rafters, firing all the way, but everybody blinded up and they are being eviscerated. Just to try to push him back and allow here Cryo with no dash to land the first kill. Close range, in the dome!
We're playing against G2 back to back to back. We've played 3 days in a row now. I'm sure both of us are going to try our hardest to win.
100 Thieves have like really good comms and like really good teamwork. Just comes down to hitting your shots at the end of the day versus them, I think.
Why would he be peeking from the same position as Heat? Surely they would have doubled up if they were there together. Uncertainty! And yet still, it's trying to win it out.
Last time we played 100 Thieves, we weren't really in that groove. I feel like we're definitely a way different team, and now we have a way better chance against them.
I think we've improved a lot since the last time we played them. I think at that point when we played them, Icy was still getting used to the setting within that team. So I would say that we beat a weaker G2. However, we're still 100 Thieves.
You see Cryo pushing towards the spawn, and he will be able to catch one. Rolling Thunder doesn't hit him. He lands all 3. The water beast has been bridled. The Thieves are crossing the water to Shanghai.
This is probably like the happiest moment of my life. Focus on what you're going to do better next time. That's not even in my head right now. For me right now, I'm like, oh, job's done.
Riot Games Arena, it's time for your Upper Bracket Finals. Let's introduce your first Master Shanghai representative, it's
We've been up for several summers, seeking how to step in commas. If you with us, buy the bundle. Say you should buy the bundle. Barely time to buy the bundle. For this ton of errors rumble. Cause you know we titans in this game, ain't no contest. If we take it to the game, turn the Wild West. We ain't faking with our claim, it's a wild threat. No rook, we been a vet. Now check the mindset, by the name of G2. How to take over the world, how we come through. You just follow in the herd, we don't have to. Best forget about what you heard, probably ain't true. This ain't go-to, cause you know it's G2. How to take over the world, how we come through. You just follow in the herd, we don't have to. Best forget about what you heard, probably ain't true. This ain't go-to, cause you know it's G2.
And their opponents, your second Masters Shanghai representative, it's your 100 Thieves!
You heard Bang say it. He said the last time we played this squad, they were a different G2, but we're still 100 Thieves. I mean, fair point to make, right? Both these teams have come a long way. The question is, whose nose is out in front?
Both these squads struggled in the regular season, but it found their peaks at the right time, looking incredible in both their respective matches to get here. Both have already locked their spot to Shanghai. That's done and dusted, but a fight for the trophy and the top seed is still on the line, because winning this match gives you a 2-ban advantage in that finals and a day off, which is especially big for a team like 100 Thieves, who has been playing back to back to back.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, Vanity, you actually played both of these teams on Ascent. Can you kind of speak to the contrasts or similarities between the two on this map?
I would say the biggest thing 100 Thieves does that G2 doesn't do as well is 100 Thieves like pushes your mistakes a lot harder. I think G2 kind of just like waits for you to make mistakes, and 100 Thieves just capitalizes on your mistakes a lot better. But I think G2 definitely looked really good in our match, and they've been looking better in playoffs, so I'm sure it'll be better.
I mean, we're talking about a G2 roster that were playing that like single duelist Yoru setup right at the start of stage 1 with the Fade. They played that up against 100 Thieves. It didn't work for them. They've since made a shift in their comp.
Yeah, they're playing what a lot of people have been with that kind of Gecko Sky idea. I think it's become probably the most common comp on this map. But I really love what 100 Thieves brings here. Bind has far and away been their best map throughout their run, right? Locking into that very unique Fade Gecko comp gives you so many great options to re-clear in the mid-round, cycling between those two different timings on your rechargeable info utility, and also setting up a ton of trap plays off that Fade Seize, off that Fade Haunt, which is all built upon how good EU has been this year.
Yeah, what I'm thinking about here mostly right now, I want to send is Cryo's opping was so strong on defense, which frankly, obviously it has been on every single map, but he was electric here earlier in the season, and I want to see if Icy can match that, because frankly, I think Icy's been at his best on the Jet compared to the Gecko in the race. This is actually where he's been putting up the best numbers.
I don't think he's played Jet a ton. I think he's only played it twice. I think he's only played it against us and Crew on Ascent.
Yeah.
I think it's the only time he's been able to put Agent. Definitely should be most duelist best Agent, but I think it's definitely the Agent he excels on the most.
The confidence into this team. These guys have had a renaissance, and practically all of the individuals are finding incredible individual performances in playoffs.
The battle of IGLs here should be pretty fantastic. Both of them are great on the attack side here. Valen, I thought, was beyond impressive the other day on Ascent against Crew, working the map. Beautiful pivots. Really impressive stuff. I'm excited to see how that shakes up.
It seems like, though, we're dealing with very different IGLs with different focus areas, because Boostio really comes down to like the mid-rounding, the 1-2 plays. We saw that a lot on Icebox, how he pair up with Arsena in some key moments yesterday. Valen, though, really likes to view it all as a mastermind, really macro-focused. And the winner, of course, of this one moves straight to Sunday's best-of-5 grand final, where the #1 seed is up for grabs. Let's head over to your casters now. It's Bren and Sideshow.
Thank you very much, guys. Great tee-up, honestly. Great setup for this match here, because it is everything to play for. Listen, step 1 of the master plan, you got to make it to Shanghai. But everything past this point, Josh, is paving the way to success at the event itself.
Exactly. You win here today, you get the map veto advantage for the finals. If you win this tournament, you get the 3 championship points, and you get to skip the Swiss system, and you get to choose your opponent in the playoffs round of Shanghai. This game matters because the grand finals matters here at the mid-season playoffs. And so setting yourselves up to guaranteed have Bind in the pool if you're 100 Thieves, or to guaranteed be able to take it away from one of your opponents, for example, if you're sat in G2's position. These are huge advantages to set yourself up for a spot where you could win a global competition, or at least make the road a lot easier. And wind the clock back even a couple of weeks, I don't think many people would have had either of these teams in a spot in our upper bracket finals here in these playoffs, but they have both earned it.
And it's a very fair take. So setting the sights down on this pistol round, everybody grouped up in through A main, a bit of a jump spot from Bang, and he's got plenty of util in the back pocket. Letting it loose now, at least with the drone, but that's cancelled out by the knife. Icy in, just trying to lead the charge for the rest of his team. Dart is dealt with, but not before lighting up these players. And there's 100 Thieves that have full control of this site. G2 really struggling to even get any sort of a foothold. Gonna have to double up at least. These fights happening. Jump spot with a right click to do that work, but damage done through the choke point. Great beginnings here for 100 Thieves.
They take the pistol on defense. A good start. Gambling over towards the A side. I feel like when I watch 100 Thieves play, one of the other differences that the Des was talking about between these two IGLs, I think Boostio's more happy to allow his team to play exploitative sometimes and just get the read. Yeah, this is a full A hit happening right now. Set the context here for Ascent too. We are expecting 100 Thieves to come out winning quite a few rounds now. They're on the defense side of Ascent. But this is, don't get it twisted, it's a must-win map for G2. Next up is Bind. So G2, the pressure starts right at the beginning of this match.
I've been going on and on about letting Bind in the pool as a 100 Thieves team. In my opinion, one of the best, I think, currently in America's at it. They just have too many different looks at it.
But actually, they've left Bang alone here on site, and G2 trying to call a contact play, and Bang throws that smoke so that it's a one-way just for a moment, swings out with it, and then allows it to settle down as the rest of the G2 players also crumble into dust in that choke point. Rifles up, good bonus round buy here for 100 Thieves. And we know that they're a team that are quite happy to do some kind of aggressive stuff on defense as well. Though, to be fair, we haven't actually seen much of them playing Ascent so far this year.
Another shot.
Oh god, this guy's about to be so free. Just take off.
All right, let's go.
We're the best team in the world.
He can't get away with it. I mean, this guy, he talks the talk and he's backing it up recently.
He has been.
But here it is, G2. Weapons in their hands now. Gonna push back this bonus round, but Cryo has purchased the operator. Teams, they opt into this. It's unexpected. And trying to set him up onto the deep line. At least Boostio will be.
Look at this, just
the drone.
walking out.
Yeah, just a drone at his back. Cryo was holding the top mid angle, I believe, but now backing away.
And everybody on G2
so
was
brave. I mean,
respecting
you
this.
have no way to get out of here, Boostio. You're tagged up and the wall already broken prematurely.
It worked against them.
Yeah.
I mean, the fact that the wall didn't have that armor plating on it just stuffed Boostio there. But I'm fine with them taking those level of risks on a round where their economy is not as good. Cryo is still here with the op, and Valin has no smokes. He's just used one.
Cryo's going to be looking to shove them in a locker and maybe just take the lunch money while he's at it. But finally shut down. Needs to make it with that one. Pushing through the available angles, just traded out as easily as it's done here. The rifles winning out the day for G2.
They won't necessarily anticipate EU coming around behind, but he's got to get past this turret somehow.
Shot down.
That'll do it.
That will do it. Doesn't have to worry about that angle. Knows that the players are most likely locked towards the back of the side in the anchoring position. It's going to be a tough clutch if he is going to make it happen now. He needs some nasty shots. Potentially a bit of luck on his side. Dart. It's going to be broken. Spam across the wall angle here, doubled up towards the back of the site. The shock dart is good at least to force the position out wide. It gives him that information. And peace of mind now working forwards, but with the time ticking against him, that spike is starting to become a problem. Deep smoke as well. You got to push into it and force the fight to them, of which G2, they know exactly how to play it.
It's not a bad bonus round for 100 Thieves, except that they lost the operator. That's the real killer here. Cryo would have loved to get that online. It's a game changer as soon as he's able to op. On defense side, his op-in has just looked unbelievably good. To be honest, I mean, even stick a rifle in his hands, he's been fantastic too.
Yeah.
But they managed to secure their economy by putting a judge onto Boostio. And he's playing over towards B main. That's a threat that G2 are going to have to deal with a little.
Real disrespect being showcased here, especially by Asuna. It's a paranoia that's delayed. And Cryo just not feeling empowered enough that he can make the swing, but now just creeping up onto the angle with that dash active. Still, they've lost a player.
The last 3 rounds, Valin has actually been putting a smoke in A main as they take A main control. So I think Asuna there believed that that was fake A main pressure because the smoke wasn't used. Might be overreading it a little, but Valin is very particularly placing that smoke there at the start of this map.
This entire series is going to be another big test for Valin. We talk about the IGL v IGL. Him versus Boostio in this match here. You can argue, you know, you play against Cloud9, you play against Crew, you can almost just adopt the same style of play. Heavy discipline from G2, punishing the hero plays. But 100 Thieves don't really play like that. They have players that pop off, but there's a lot of discipline that's been hammered into this team over time. And 100 Thieves now looking like a scary opposition.
Yeah, they focus very heavily on the utility, on the executes.
Yeah.
And so Valin's going to have to bring something new. He's playing with the big boys now, playing against Boostio.
Oh, Cryo just has to try and push forwards as well to avoid this dart, but lit up. His position was known and noted, and Icy has already broke past that initial choke point, wading right into it. Bang just seemingly unaware that that could even be a possible approach. And punished for it. The 2v5. Real goal for 100 Thieves here. Surely he's just seeking out the weaponry and maybe saving it into the next tier, but Boostio throws away the life, and with EU following through as well, it's a flawless start. G2 now 2-2.
And all of that talk that you were saying there about playing slowly, about the discipline stuff, that's what rewards G2 in the round. Asuna goes for a little play out towards A main, baited in there, arguably, by prior round conditioning, and they get this pick. But then they pause for another minute, maybe? And isolate Cryo, who's trying to make a hero play with a recon dart, force him into taking that fight more aggressively. And this is now not the economy of 100 Thieves. We said that this was a must-win map for G2, based on the fact that 100 Thieves are 5-0 on Bind, looking outrageously good there. And they're starting out well. Yes, they dropped the pistol round, but since then, it's been very strong and looking to try to take the lead here.
Yeah, they've got the economy advantage, and the ults are going to be building up momentarily. You can see Leafs just one away.
And also the patience, Brent. Starting this round again, the first 20 seconds, just waiting for 100 Thieves to make a move. Because normally, it's going to be that eco team that ends up taking the initiative. They can afford to take more gambles.
Respect showcased at least by G2. I mean, using the lockdown here, even against a half buy, it will clear out any possibility of there being a heavy stack onto the B site. Nanoswarm needs to be deaded as well. Autos Molly sent flying and through. Gonna light up there onto one of the players and attacks. Paranoia sweeping past, and there's a heavy flood attempt by 100 Thieves. They're already into the action, but nobody watching the staircase. They just can't quite land the shot still. Leaf, hefty chunk of damage being played, but a bit of a pause in the play being called out by them, and Leaf just decides to take the fight to them. Supportive util again. Jonah P is a player that we've been highlighting over and over again, especially on this map. Is KO, the way he just sets up and tees up his teammates for those big moments, Leaf capitalizes.
Yeah, really lovely play, because in theory, Leaf might get isolated there in B main on the anti-eco. So G2, they make it a bit expensive by using the lockdown in that spot. But the lockdown doesn't only stop a stack from being a problem, it also means that these close corners inside the smoke, a spot that Vanity, who's on the desk today, loves playing inside of, spots like logs, these kind of positions, they all get cleared out with the lockdown as well. So you could argue, do they need to use an ult like that at the start of the round? But I think playing it safe here and just making sure you convert as many rounds as possible on the attack side,
yeah,
I don't have a problem with it.
No, I think it's a good strategy moving forwards as well. This new era of Valorant, I mean, the amount of thrifty wins we see, I think teams have just gotten so good at managing to win when on half-fired rounds.
Yeah.
Whether it's just using the ults at the right time, the util combos, they'll always have something cheeky up their sleeve. So I don't hate the offloading of the lockdown.
If 100 Thieves want to apply the pressure, now is the time. Operator back online for Cryo. He's finally built up that economy again after losing it in round 3. But this is the moment for them with the Operator, with the Odin online to start. Oh, get rid of the Odin, actually, as EU goes for full armor instead. Maybe just worried about Leaf buying Outlaw. I mean, he was buying it a ton.
It's conditioner from the prior series.
That could well be true.
Could see Mike's tweeting saying no more Outlaw buys from Leaf.
Yeah, I mean, straight up, the Odin would be better there for EU, I think. Unless he's anticipating some kind of really fast play coming into him.
G2 are very slow and steady. Look at this beginning, just waiting out the initial knife. Now taking up the space over towards A, but Cryo's also got the same idea, same thoughts.
Is this not, though, the same thing that Boostio did?
The only danger here, really, I mean, Cryo does have a dash, I suppose, just to get out of there, but no one's covering his top mid angle.
I mean, he's got the turret, actually, watching the top mid angle. So he will get some information.
It won't stop you from Leaf just Giga Chad swinging out and trying to punish.
Well,
drone spotted, smoke at the feet up, draft and back and away. Okay, good movement from Cryo.
And that's because he knows that there was a player over there towards top mid, but that started the exec for G2.
Yeah, Valor's going to be making the call for this one here, just trying to cut up those angles. No one's dealing with Bang! He's holding it down in a nice position. Steady aim and a steady hand as well. It's going to be guiding them right into a round win. Spikes drop down in the middle of nowhere, drop to the knees as Jonah P. Eventually he will fall as well.
And so momentum beginning here for 100 Thieves in all likelihood. 30 seconds for G2 to try to recover this in a 2v4.
30 seconds left.
Very unlikely. There's a chance for Cryo to get punished early on. And as soon as they realize the op is not holding towards A, they're like, okay, let's send it.
Are they going to have time here? I mean, 17 seconds. They look like they want to make a go of it. Boostio's going to be
Surely not.
Surely not. I mean, 12 seconds now.
They have the money for it, but the
10 seconds.
Get the
not gonna be able to
stopwatch
get
out,
in
man.
here.
Get the stopwatch out. I mean, they're bunny hopping all the way in. 6 seconds, 5 seconds. Spike's dropped down, so no chances.
Well, they take another weapon away from Boostio, and remember, it's the economy of 100 Thieves that's in danger here. So going 1-for-1 there and just sending it into B is actually not that bad for them. 100 Thieves, though, needed that round to be able to build a little bit of stability. They couldn't afford the op to be ripped away once again. And G2 are responding instantly here with a tactical timeout of their own. We've only played 6 rounds, and yet both teams have taken a moment to hit the pause button.
That's interesting.
And discuss with their coaches.
I don't really know if there's anything tactical that they could be discussing. Maybe just these anchoring players not having the util to flush them out. Maybe not pulling it out enough before they go into these big hits.
Yeah, I think that's definitely something that the G2 coaches might want to be talking about here. If you think about the flow of the previous round, they used drone, they spotted cryo, and then they immediately went into an A hit with the null command. They didn't actually pull out utility, create space for themselves through Cat, for example, threaten a split. There was more they could do there to work the map, and I think Valen and Josh RT might hold themselves to slightly higher standards in their attack side calling. 3-3 though, nothing to sniff at for G2.
Definitely doing a decent job of trying to take away this map early on. I mean, this map, Ascent, is defense-sided. We know that to be the case. And it is a must-win for G2 if we're looking at that bind map 2, which 100 Thieves have been so damn good at. So, let's see what they do here. Equal money again.
Everybody on G2 grouped up over towards tiles to start the round. No Odin usage from EU throughout. I mean, to be honest, most of the time that we've seen them play, the 100 Thieves have not played much Ascent, so not much call for it. And of course, they ban Lotus as well, so the 2 big Odin maps they don't really play. But EU here, with Vandal in hand, backside anchor already.
Boostio's, I believe, just playing that. Yeah, just on the staircases here, onto the angle. It's a cross-map knife. Tags up a few of these players here. There's no other map control for G2. They can't really afford to pivot in any other direction because, I mean...
Remember, G2 ran this exact same round, actually, when we watched them play against Crew.
Yeah.
And they got caught by a recon dart. EU threw a recon dart in.
Right around now.
And realized that Icy was here in B main and they had to cancel the hit. This time, though, recon saved for the exec itself.
Yep. Now all the way over the top. Boostio puts it straight out of the sky. It's Clay Pigeon shooting. Just got to dodge and dock and weave away on the Hunter's Fury. Flash over. Beautiful. I mean, just a dart is laying them all up. It's easy pickings for everybody. With the flood defense called.
I think that's too much hesitation for G2 there. Send it in after Icy. I understand that you want the Soverall off the back of that too, but a lot of hesitation over towards lane. They gave EU chances to deal with Dicey, dodge the Soverall, throw out a recon, and wait for a flash with which to fight. All before G2 had just walked from the choke point into the site. Of course you want to be playing disciplined, but you've also got to find that killer instinct, and 100 Thieves there just given a little too much space with which to work.
A lot of concern, I think, as well around Cryo with this operator. I mean, a lot of discussions, and I mean, if you've been watching the games, you know that he's playing in some of the best form in quite some time. He's been getting active.
It's definitely the best Cryo we've ever seen with 100 Thieves.
Yeah. Quick dash though, they want to take up tree control here. Asuna is on the line here. Bang follows up and through with the bullets.
Spike down A.
Beautiful little swing here. 100 Thieves so damn proactive. With Boostio going down, they know exactly where Leap is here. Swarm into position. They will not let him get away with that.
Bang has been monstrous in spots where his site gets pressured. A great paranoia. Able to isolate everybody over towards Tree and Asuna as well, anticipating perhaps. I don't know really whether he expects Icy to be pushing him or whether he's just going for a spam kill through the smoke, but either way.
Oh, you're joking.
One bullet. But look at how good that flash is. Just allows Bang to swing around and pick up 2 there. These defensive setups, they look a little more passive to me from 100 Thieves. They're almost allowing G2 to take map control, just saying, all right, we've watched your footage and we don't actually think you're that good on the execs. That, to me, seems to be a bit of the read that the Thieves have here.
And again, another round where G2, they don't have any of that spread out map control. They are going to be looking like it's an attempt to split into B. They're through mid now. Main control as well going to be gained here just from the drone. Tags up onto Cryo. That's a critical target. Can be removing them away from that sight line, but they still have to worry about the anchoring players. Now Cryo outside the Blade Storm, seeking a slice and dice his way through at least any available scenario, but Hunter's Fury and Boostio standing his ground, rooted to the spot, eventually dislodged. TP from Bang. He's committing into the fight now, at least with the paranoia, but it just blocks up his village in time. Coming straight through back at you. EU now, left in a 1v3.
Spike plant and
Not going to be denied, they are weak. Suppressed though. Wait for it to fade here. Maybe pray for a couple of spam kills. There's the first one. Obstacle removed. 2 more to deal with.
Revealing area.
Now it's back online. There's only one player that can break down. That's going to be revealing the position of Icy. Shock Dart. Doesn't connect. A smoke by Valen. Still, it just separates it, but now left into that 1v1, of which Valen will succeed.
And they grab their fourth. 100 Thieves tried to send in utility to be able to fight around. They even ulted Bang into backside to try to set up that defensive assistance. And it looked like it was going to work until Icy barreled through and picked off both of those players. Boostio goes down to the entry of this newly awoken Jet player. And then this, you know, a great flash over the top from Asuna.
Nice try there. Good damage, good damage.
I wanted to say proud.
But Icy gets it done. Scrim Icy coming out. And 4 caught here for 100 Thieves.
It's going to give a nice indicator. Already you've seen the rotations.
Yeah, look, they're going for the rotate. I think that's an unusual call a little, because the pace that G2 are playing at is not super fast. But they're going to be here in the right spot.
Anything to deal with this one? Lockdown doesn't actually cover that corner. Both Bang.
They're going to throw you
Cryo. Really good in this spot. Not just that. I mean, Boostio also has a lockdown of his own, but there's nobody watching that angle.
No thought.
But yeah, okay, not going to be able to get out of there. Still lighting him up with the cross-map recon. Bang. Even within his own smokes, and he's buying enough time at least for EU to just rain down the lead from the on high position. This guy just collecting up every kill imaginable.
Gets the Odin out, gets 4. EU wasn't able to convert on the clutch previously. You heard it from the guys. Nice try, almost. 11-4 now, top of the scoreboard. He was amazing against G2 in Tier 2. When G2 themselves won through Ascension and earned their spot, EU was fantastic against them. He was also the best player when these two teams played up against each other earlier on in the year. Finding moments to have impact like that is going to be important. And he swapped out the Odin immediately back for a Vandal. Just doesn't like the gun.
Well, this is G2 just throwing a quick round into the mix here. They've been slow and steady pretty much for all of their attack side rounds, and they will be punished just as easily, swatted away. These anchoring players of 100 Thieves. Stalwart defenders of the sides and even the mid angle. There's no opportunities for G2.
There's some confidence though, isn't there, from the defenders there. EU's sprinting down mid to look to try to cut them off. Doesn't want to give them any opportunities. They've only got a Ghost and a Classic. You don't want to give him a weapon.
Enemy remaining.
Looking like he wants to take the fight to them anyway. Drop the 15. Shock Dart has to get out of it. Will be ran down, but he knows where Trent's position is. Potentially donating a rifle, but he just can't quite find it, actually.
7-4, the lead for 100 Thieves. If they can get an 8th online, this is a great recovery for them.
In the half.
This final round, really, this is like the knife's edge between a great defense and one where you feel like the attackers have gotten away with a little too much. At 7-5, G2 are going to be feeling great about it. But again, a reminder that from where we're stood, with the fact that 100 Thieves are 5-0 on bind, I know that Vanity leaked that G2 have changed their bind comp, but you're still expecting that to be an extraordinarily difficult map coming up for G2.
The uphill battle.
This round would be massive for them, and they have the tools for it. Hunter's Fury, Null Command. If they can get a read, and Asuna has just walked out instantly.
I mean, this is insane.
Get Info Gelato.
What is this read? I mean, there haven't been many spread defaults. Asuna, though, will
it's a fake.
Be suppressed, yeah, by the Null Command. Spreading out wide, but Boostio's not giving up this space. Look at this guy. He's going to be able to hold it. Almost expecting it with the potential positioning. They're just trying to convert it into that mid-take as well. Into the B split. The bait and switch, but they did not deal with this guy. The IGL still No more. Duke as well, these bullets coming through. G2 are finding these advantages. Icy looking up behind them, and they know exactly where EU is, just from that Hunter's Fury that was let loose and let rip.
And now the fake becomes the real take. Those players on A never got stopped. And so now it's all down to Bang to try to pick up the pieces. He's got no information. I mean, there's an Omen ult all over the place as well. People could be literally anywhere, all around the map. It would be an outrageous 1v3 for him to pick up. And I think he's just going to end up exposing his back here to Trent.
First level of it is expecting Trent, which some level of clearance, but just pokes out the shoulder and it gives him the easy one. So 7-5 finish here for G2, and like you said, Josh, I mean, this really is a good half for G2.
Yeah, it's decent. 5 rounds on the attack side of Ascent. No matter which way the pistol round goes, G2 is still going to be feeling like they can come back on the defense side. But I think that's the case for both teams. I think both squads will be fairly happy about the rounds that they've put up and their chances of winning.
Nice. 5 is perfect, boys. Let's get pistol.
Bro, that's so sad. I was looking at the top.
Trent has sealed up that half, at least with that final blow. And let's hear from him and his thoughts on his team's growth in 2024.
I think with time, it definitely got better, especially with a rookie, with Icy. He's been playing way better. And, you know, we were all I feel like we were all very nervous at the beginning. There was a lot of pressure on us. And, like, throughout the games and throughout, like, the weeks, we started to really find ourselves. And we've had some outside help of, like, being able to regroup and, you know, being able to try to reset in the rounds, even if we lose a bad one or, you know, win a bad one. We still are able to reset. And, yeah, I feel like we've been practicing really hard and working really hard to be able to get to here. And it definitely showed.
It definitely has been shown, I think, for this G2 team, because, I mean, expectations just weren't really there. They didn't show anything concrete. I think it was wins and losses,
Remember,
oscillating.
they only scraped into the playoffs here by round differential.
Yeah.
Just, yeah, like you said, win-loss, win-loss. We didn't really think that they had it in them to be able to make this late resurgence. But they are the first Ascension team to make a global event. That's history. They're going to be staring across the stage at Boostio, a man who's done so much at the Tier 1 level already, and be thinking about their chances of being right where he has been stood before, on a big stage.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, Valen has had these tests before, right? But this time he's up against an IGL that's been winning championships, right? The winners, EG, they've gone far in the past, at least that prior core and roster. Now Boostio is leading this 100 Thieves team to try and do something quite similar, honestly. They're on a tear right now through the playoffs of the Americas, but they'll be thinking about that and more as we get into the second half of Ascent.
You heard it from Valen towards the end of that half. He was like, yep, we've got 5. That's doing pretty good. Now let's win the pistol round. Now, I want to see what kind of pistol round strats we've got from both of these teams. There's some pretty classic stuff that you'll see, like bait and switch setups over towards A, which it looks like they're going to get set up into. But it's really the setup on B that we should be having a look at. And there's your stats. Both of these teams yet to lose on Ascent. But it's 100 Thieves that we really don't know too much about, to be honest. And this certainly wasn't a defense half where Cryo took over. And he's going to look to entry here.
Oh, this is an explosive beginning. Look at this, 100 Thieves just trying to send it straight, flying through into the B side. That has to be broken and dealt with, and it is just so. Still, the shock darts, long-range artillery. I mean, this has chunked down the players. I mean, just look to the left here. Red Hellfast disappearing before your very screens. You might see the field, at least the feed filled up, maybe potentially here, all entirely the 100 Thieves to taking it to them. Not letting this flood defense occur, and G2 are shut down as quickly as that.
What a call! What an awesome call there from 100 Thieves. With barely any health between them, they decided to go proactively and take the fight to G2. That was a flood defense, and normally what you'll see there is the post-plant team bunker down. They take their position, set up crossfires, and try to stop their opponents. They don't run back upstairs and back up lane to try to fight them. That was nasty good. Utilizing the fact that they had players in B main and tucked logs, those kind of spots. A great pistol round from 100 Thieves there. That's going to set them up quite nicely, winning both pistols in this map. And still not with a dominant advantage just yet.
But it might turn into one.
Certainly could.
Right now, free and easy access given over towards the A site. The knife is definitely going to be giving them that acknowledgement. Heavy rotation by G2.
Asuna missing the molly, but doesn't matter whatsoever. Asuna's the player that you want to load the ult orbs into, I think, but EU's taking matters into his own hands.
He certainly is. He'll go down. He was the one with the ghost, so he doesn't donate them a weapon. Putting the fear of God into the hearts of G2. And their options are particularly limited. Cryo, got to be concerned here about going down.
Leaf could take him out with the shorty so easily.
Just not gonna drive by, it's not enough.
I think it only did 6 damage.
Shorty giveth and taketh away. And they're just looking for this last player. They know IT's seeking to deny his life to the spike, but really just every single spot managed here by 100 Thieves, just trying to hunt down and get every advantage available for them to try and close out this map.
I think that was a missed opportunity for them to start loading more orbs into Asuna, and they could have had Null Command basically online for this round and started that snowball, the avalanche that we talk about so often with these attack teams.
Enemy remaining.
Yeah, I'm not going to put that one in a highlight reel, to be honest, even if you give it a slow-mo.
Guaranteed assist. I do like that, though.
So, heading into the next, 100 Thieves group up tiles again. Boostio, known for great calls such as hit B 12 times in a row.
Surely Trent just stunts them.
Placing swarm
Plus one nano swarms is going to be orchestrating. Pretty obvious now that this is going to be a B hit coming through, up and over the top, fully blinded up. That util! It's perfection in motion. And still just punishing any attempt to try and flood through all of these smokes. Spamming away, Cryo. A little bit of punishment there. 2v3. Has he opened up enough of a window here for Icy to take over? Not quite. Log's position locked down here by Boostio, and now Valin, difficult decision. But he got to back away from this one. It was that full investment by G2, and this is the map now slipping away from them.
I think you can see the preparation already from 100 Thieves. They're going into B hits like they did on the pistol. And the next important round, back to a B hit.
Yeah.
Whenever the economy is equal. And you could see why. I mean, Leaf wasn't just flashed. He was sent to another dimension. He was running around, rubbing his face up against the wall. Yeah, no idea where he was.
No idea. And that's the different type of test you're going to get when you go up against a team like 100 Thieves. Putting all their eggs in the exec basket.
I want to see a replay of it because the flash timing there was just perfect, and it caught Leaf on a more aggressive position.
I think it is a difficult test here for G2 at least. I mean, they've had to deal with these, individual hero plays. The discipline really carries you through with that, but what do you do when all this util's flying forwards? Like, what do you do when your defensive setups are getting picked apart like this?
No, I mean, look at him. He's walking into a wall. He's like a man stumbling out of a club at 4 a.m. He's completely lost there. What a perfect util setup. And catching a player that likes to play slightly more aggressive angles.
Yeah.
You see it in the stats. Leaf has, or the desk was talking about it, 0.9 kill per round. That's ridiculously high production.
Just for a Killjoy player?
For a Killjoy player, yeah, absolutely. That's like, alpha year level of fragging from that sentinel position. But with that comes a bit of an opportunity there for 100 Thieves to get a punish play onto him. And this suddenly is looking like 100 Thieves are running away with it. Boostio did say in the post-show yesterday, we will destroy G2 100%. They are not good.
Yep. And call them swines or pigs or whatever the hell he's dishing out on social media these days. I mean, he doesn't hold back.
No, listen, as insults go, that's quite a funny one. It's not bad, really, is it?
It's, dude,
not too personal.
He's got to be one of the funniest players that we've got in the league. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, he's very unique. He certainly is. I don't mean that in a bad way at all. It's fun to watch him. And fun to watch what he's able to do with this 100 Thieves squad. But yeah, they are running away with it right now. This is a desperate situation for G2. This is the perfect time to try to make some kind of thrifty round work.
And here it is, 4 players. Shoulder to shoulder. Brothers in arms looking for play in mid. All of them joined up as well, just holding inside. Deep Knife doesn't get any sort of acknowledgement, and 100 Thieves, they just take that timing and all that information, noise and sound cues, whatever it was, just defaulting into their A hit. Got to be concerned of the flanks. If G2 have any chance, arguably in the map, maybe even the series, is the kind of argument we've been making. Has to begin now, but already
Bang's watching for it.
Yeah.
So early on.
Just dropped. Speaking of it, Cryo will fall up through the heaven angle. Trent, do they expect this one? It's got to be a necessary kill. Bang again, shuts it down. Lit up. The dart pushing back. Any chance here for G2?
It's looking really nicely coordinated from 100 Thieves. Very aware of the gaps that G2 might try to exploit and stopping them before they even become a danger. Okay, these are just consolation kills at the end of the day. They don't even really do much to the economy. 100 Thieves get up to 11. They're running away with this. And this on Ascent, a map that we've only seen them play once. It was, you know, they're 1-0 on it. In theory, 100% win rate. But
weeks ago, though, weeks ago.
Exactly. You just don't know how they were going to perform here today. But this squad is looking sublime. And again, we're moving into Bind after this, a map that they are simply incredible on, and no one will ban against them. This is the round. This is the round for Icy to have impact. I think if you're looking at a player, he's got the off.
It's got to happen now. Early night from Asuna. Clears out that cat angle. Still with the jump spots, though. Respect shown by EU. So only real player into mid here. Might be even just trying to make it feign and feel like a bit of a B split, but with the deep dart, it's also be used at the same time by Trent. They should know that there's no one into B main. Icy.
They're walking back into Icy's up.
Yeah, and this is the time to come alive, isn't it? Paranoia. Swoops through, has to sidestep it. Another flash, these layers of util. Icy just cannot get set up for success. The time to strike is pretty much over. Sights gained for 100 Thieves. Players are in position. Hoping to delay this one now with a no command. It's going to radiate out. Asuna stopping any and all abilities.
And they're expecting this to delay the G2 retake and buy time for EU to go on this flank. I mean, look at this. The Sova lurk flank. Can't get any value out of the recon.
The knife as well. It just keeps coming, man. Waves of it, layers of it. Stopping them in their tracks. EU getting a bit of a move on with none the wiser. Everybody drops and falls. 100 Thieves. I mean, domination is putting it lightly, I think, for this map. It's 12-5. You're heading into almost home ground territory for them onto the next map. I mean, it feels like we're rolling out the red carpet for the finals.
It certainly does. Whichever team wins here has a massive advantage in the grand finals, is likely to be going straight to the playoffs of Shanghai, has a great opportunity to make a run at that tournament. This match matters so much, and 100 Thieves are just running away with it. It's not a contest now that the sides have swapped.
Scanning ahead.
Ain't gonna look easy. They want to finish this one. Explosive in nature! Look at this guy! Flying forwards, no smoke in the choke to really block them away, and Icy has to deliver. Finds at least two. The dash now activated. Long-range dart to supplement and support these defensive players, but he just does not expect Cryo to be coming from that angle. It's a 2v3. Whatever opportunity that Icy may have bought is now arguably squandered. It's up for Leaf and Trent. See if they can pull off the impossible, but 100 Thieves running away with it. Door in Trent's face has to be broken. First part of the puzzle, but they know exactly where Leaf is.
He gets posted.
Drone avoided. Out wide though, it's a double face, and they know exactly where Trent is. It should be done, and indeed it is. That's a 13-5 finish from map 1. And 100 Thieves, I mean, even Burst here is shaking his head, man. Don't mic this guy up. He's a fine risk, man. He's a fine risk, but listen. First step of the series done. We're heading into Bind next.
And G2's new comp better light the world on fire, because otherwise 100 Thieves is looking more like a coronation party than an upper bracket final.
Yeah.
They were worlds apart when it came to that second half. The perfect calls at the perfect time to generate their momentum and run away with the match. 13-5 after the only rounds that G2 got were on their attack side, on our most defense-sided map. And that's masterclass game planning and coordination from 100 Thieves there.
That's what this 100 Thieves squad is bringing right now, I think. It's not just the XX, right? I mean, that's just one part of the puzzle that you have to work out against this 100 Thieves team. But we're going to be stepping away. And up next, Uber and the analyst desk are going to be breaking it all down for map number 1. So we'll see you in just a few.
Excuse me, would you mind taking a picture of us?
Oh, no problem.
Thanks.
Ooh, yes, problem. You need Verizon. Trade in that old thing and get a new iPhone 15 Pro with tons of storage, so you can take all the pics. So many selfies.
A preposterous amount of panos!
That means panoramic.
And as many portraits of me as your heart desires.
How about none?
None, yeah, none feels right.
Trade in any iPhone in any condition and get iPhone 15 Pro on us. Only on Verizon.
Red Bull gives you wings.